Whoa, what a weekend. Was James Lowe's foot in touch? Should Turner and Atonio have seen red? Let's find out in Whistle Watch. Let's get started then. After answering your Emirates Fan Questions, I'll predict potential Six Nations scenarios based on historical facts. But before then, let's start with Whistle Watch. Right, let's start with the one that you've all been talking about in Dublin, the Atonio tackle on Herring. Should it have been a red card? Well, the simple answer is yes, it should have, because Atonio makes no attempt to lower his tackle line. So he's always upright. Now he comes in with his arms down by his side, so he's not making a wrap to tackle. And because of this action, he then makes contact with Herring's neck head area. So is there head contact? That's the first thing the referee would look at. Yes, it is. So we have head contact. We then need to look at, is there foul play? Yes, there was foul play for the reasons I've just explained to you there. Was it a high degree of danger? Yes, there was a high degree of danger. So at the moment, looking at those 3 points, we are on a red card. Now, was a mitigation, and in this instance there was no mitigation. There's no attempt by Atonio to lower his tackle height. There's no sudden change by the attacking player, so it is a red card. But this is not a case of an unlucky red card because he was high and didn't have time to adjust. He has a clear line of sight. He has plenty of time to get down lower for a tackle. He doesn't do so, so it should be a red card. Lowe's try, foot in touch, an illegal tackle or not? Well, it's very difficult to answer if it's an illegal tackle or not, because when you look at the tackle that the winger is trying to make, what he's trying to do is trying to get underneath the player, because what he wants to do now, he wants to get that player up and out of the way into touch to prevent him going over the try. So it's a very difficult one. Some may argue that there was a shoulder charge. Others, well, he's trying his arms down because he wants to get in underneath him. So you can understand the view on that. So that is a very grey, debatable area. But what is not debatable is, was his foot in touch? Yes, it was. The foot touches the ground before the ball is grounded. Now, what the officials may not have seen at the time is all the angles to show this. But the clear answer is, his foot was in touch and the try should have been disallowed. Now, very interesting one, which has been causing a little bit of debate up in Murrayfield in the Wales-Scotland game. Very interesting tackle by Turner on George North. Well, that's only interesting about the game from a Welsh point of view, to be honest. Should Turner have seen red? Well, let's have a look what happens here. Is there head contact? Yes, there clearly is. Is there foul play? Yes, there is. Is there a high degree of danger? Yes, there is. So just like the Atonio situation, we are now on a red card. Now the key important thing comes in here. Is there mitigation? Well, the ball carrier is certainly going down low. So George North is down quite low. But what the referee saw and what the referee explained, which is an understandable and a followable decision, is it looks like Turner is trying to go and make a legal tackle, but because of the height of North dropping, the action then at the time was illegal, but it may not necessarily have been legal if the drop in height hadn't happened. So on this one, a yellow card was the correct decision. In Twickenham, England, Italy, disallowed try for obstruction. Was it the correct decision? Well, if you're in front of your fellow teammate who is carrying the ball, then you are in an offside position. But you won't get penalised unless you affect play in any way. So what happens here? He's running across. He's in front of the ball carrier. Now, whether it's intentional or not is irrelevant, because by that action, he has taken out a defender, which means the opportunity to defend that space is now gone. Now, if you felt that the defending player was just as guilty by causing the collision, then we would be looking at nobody's done nothing wrong, it's just a collision, and we have a play on and we have a try. But here the referee views that the defending player didn't do anything wrong, and therefore the attacking player is in an offside position, accidentally or not, caused this, and therefore the try is correctly disallowed. It was a very tight one, I have to say. I hope that's helped you now with your understanding of the decisions made or not made. Now it's time to answer your Emirates fans questions. Let's have a look at your Emirates fans question then. At John Fox, you're not the John Fox, are you? Oh no, it's at John Fox 4703. Hi from Ireland. I love your stuff. Educated and well presented. Keep doing it. Oh, thank you very much. That's the first time somebody's told me that I'm well educated. One question. What's the lovely Woofie's names? Where are they? Bella and Arya. Bella, Arya, come here. Now they're playing with the ball on the field. Now they won't listen. Just like when I referee, the players never listen. Now these don't listen. If the ref has to warn a player against committing an infringement, why shouldn't the advantage be automatic? Ah, right, I see what you mean now. So what you're asking me is, if you're preventing a player from committing an offence, should there be advantage? Well, it's a very, very difficult but important balance to get. You need to communicate to help the flow of the game, but also you can't over communicate and keep warning all the time, because then you're not doing justice of the game. And there's one little question I'll pose to you as well. What do you think happens when players know you're going to warn them every time about committing an offence? They're going to keep doing it because they know they're not going to get penalised because you're going to warn them. So it's a very difficult balance to get between the flow of the game and when to acknowledge I need to play advantage and give a penalty here if there is no advantage. Good question. Nigel, under the new rules, can the team with a goal line dropout kick the ball straight into the touch, giving the opposition the line out? Thanks. I don't know. No, I do know. No, it's very similar to a dropout 22. If you do, where do you think the line out's going to be? Well, the line out will be from where you kicked it, but in this instance, because the line out can't take place closer than 5 metres to the goal line, if you kick it into touch 50 metres upfield, the opposition won't be throwing in there, they'll be throwing back where you dropped it from. Also as well, there is the option of a scrum, just like a dropout 22, you have the option of kick again, scrum back from where he kicked it from, or line out where the ball went into touch, which would be back from where you kicked it from. So the answer to that is you can, but I wouldn't if I was you. Some great questions there. Keep them coming because I love answering your Emirates fans questions. Now we've got a bit of a break until the next round of the Six Nations, but I've taken some time to predict some scenarios that may happen over the next few weeks in this year's Six Nations. So it is time for the Six Nations scenarios. Right then, let's provide you with my first scenario. Now, we're only 2 rounds into the Six Nations mine, so these things may change as the weeks go by. Finn Russell, now then, will he win the Six Nations Player of the Tournament? And the reason why I think he's in with a shout here is he's the first Scottish player to register 3 try assists in a single match. Scenario number 2, Ireland will win the Grand Slam. Reason? Well, Ireland have won now their last 13 home games in a row, their longest ever run. Ireland have also never won a Grand Slam at home, and this year they'll face England in the final match on St. Patrick's Day. Oh, what a day that will be in Ireland. Scenario number 3, Capuzzo to win Six Nations top try scorer. The reason? Well, he beat 14 defenders versus England, the second highest amount in the Six Nations history. He looks sharp every time he gets the ball. Scenario number 4, Jack Morgan will end the Six Nations with the most turnovers. Now, reason is this: Jack has made 3 turnovers so far, the joint most in the championship. Scenario number 5, Johnny Sexton will break the Six Nations record versus Italy. And the reason why I think that, he's already on 550 Six Nations points, so he's only 8 points away from breaking the record. Oh, imagine if he gets 7 and he equals it. I think he'll break it comfortably. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's Whistle Watch. Now, we're going to have a little break now, but I'll be back after the next round of the Six Nations. See you then.